The latest Scooby Doo TV movie was a massive improvement from the last two flops. While Curse of the 13th Ghost and Return to Zombie Island felt like hollow attempts to cash in on Scooby's past successes, Happy Halloween felt like a love letter to the franchise while still being entirely its own thing. Thus, I thought it'd be a good idea to make a video about it, so let's talk. So what's the movie about? It's Halloween and the gang have defeated the Scarecrow, and yeah, that's Scarecrow. Weirdly, however, pumpkin monsters show up despite the fact that the villain of the week is defeated. It's up to the gang, along with Elvira and Bill Nye, to get to the bottom of the mystery. First, I want to talk about the Scarecrow, cause he's awesome. I love it whenever Scooby Doo does DC crossovers, but this one felt particularly special. The Scarecrow isn't the most obvious character to have casually make an appearance in a Scooby Doo movie. His relative obscurity makes him a lot more interesting of a decision to include. So why is he awesome? For one thing, he's a real supervillain threat, so there actually is a semblance of a threat level even when he's unmasked. Not only that, but you also care more about what happens to him, as he's not just a random face. This is actually a problem the main antagonist has, but we'll get to that later. I hope this opens up more doors for other supervillains to get their own starring role in future movies in this franchise. Overall, I thought he was really well written and was handled pretty well. Speaking of the writing, the cast characterization here was impeccable. It was very much a Velma movie, following her having an existential crisis over monsters maybe being real. While she's had that conflict before, this felt a lot stronger to me because they have some real emotional scenes. I liked that they had Velma actually snap at Shaggy and Scooby, and I liked the intimate moments where she would just talk about her feelings. There's this one scene where she goes to her mind palace, okay Sherlock, and Shaggy and Scooby Doo come along for the ride. It's a nice scene that actually made the gang seem like actual friends, rather than just a bunch of random people working with each other to solve mysteries. I really liked what they did with Daphne in this movie as well. They made her quirky, kind of like in Be Cool, but toned right down so it's not as obnoxious and is more so endearing. She comes up with these atrocious and outdated catchphrases, which, don't worry, are definitely self-aware on the writer's part. It's great seeing her be goofy instead of simply being fashionable and pretty. The change of pace made her a lot more fun to watch. Not to mention, the Mary Sue joke they made about her was really funny. If you're a long-time fan of Scooby Doo, you're really going to love some of the references the writers came up with. First off, the location for the story is Crystal Cove, complete with its own sheriff and everything. For those that are unfamiliar with Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated, and if so you should watch it right now, the series was set in the coastal town of Crystal Cove, which also had a sheriff of its own. As for others I noticed, they straight up name drop a pup named Scooby Doo, and Red Herring from the show himself even makes a cameo appearance. I'm sure there are others I missed, but I really enjoyed the ones that I did catch. While the movie had a very strong start and body, it kind of falls apart at the end. The villain turns out to be the sheriff of the town, which there was no real build-up for, although the movie does insist that he was present in the prior two movies, and was set up all along. But to the viewer, it's confusing and kind of frustrating that the reveal comes out of nowhere, and that all of the other characters were just red herrings. Not to mention, there's no real reason to care about him because the movie doesn't give any time to elaborate on his character. Personally, I think Bill Nye would have made more sense, as he's present throughout the entire movie, has the technology to pull off a stunt like the pumpkins, and is a big celebrity, so you're naturally inclined to care that it's him more than some rando. After he's unmasked, there's still about 6 minutes of runtime left, and from there it just feels like de-escalation after de-escalation. Except one last reveal by Elvira, which was pretty funny but definitely not a showstopper. Scarecrow was in the film a huge supervillain, they should have just done something with him. Overall, the movie is action-packed, exciting, and heartfelt. While fans will definitely enjoy it, I'd recommend it even if you've never seen Scooby Doo before. It may be bogged down by an unsatisfying ending, but that doesn't make it any less worth watching. Considering the quality of the last two movies, it's gold dust, and I hope we see more of this quality come out of Warner Brothers in the future. That's all for this video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want more content from me. Thanks so much for watching.